that.
We actually had a Twitter question from John. Could the hormones or medications Caitlin is taking during her transition have impaired her driving and contributed to the car crash? And there's absolutely no doubt that it could create more distractibility, particularly if there's a mood disturbance being precipitated. Ariva, my question is could this be a defense against these suits? No.
No, Dr. Drew. This is a run-of-the-mill personal injury lawsuit that's been filed by this second driver. And what we know is that Caitlin's car actually hit the back of this driver's car. So negligence is going to be pretty easy to prove. And now it becomes a question of what are the physical injuries, any emotional injuries, and the property damage.
Wait a minute. I'm confused. There's no defense. It just gets turned over to the insurance company.
It's
you can't
not
say, "Hey, I was
changing my gender and
no,
I was
on medication." Yeah, I was on medication that made me a little distracted. Didn't see distances normally.
You voluntarily took the medication that altered your ability to drive. If the medication did that, you shouldn't have been on the road.
Doctor didn't tell me. The attorney,
then file a separate lawsuit against your doctor for malpractice. But once you take the wheel and start driving, everyone around you assumes that you're capable and that you are conscious enough to be driving a vehicle.
I have a question for Ariva. The woman driving the black Prius, the second lawsuit, she was driving on a suspended license. Will that take away from her lawsuit?
Not as it relates to her ability to recover damages from Caitlin. Now, the DMV may have something to say about her driving on a suspended license, but your ability to recover for personal injuries, property damage is pretty clear. In a case like this, think about your run-of-the-mill rear-end accident. And in California, you can bet if you rear-end someone, you are going to be sued.
Ariva,
wow.
It happens every day.
I did not know that.
These two suits we're talking about, these are civil, right? So
yes.
Is there going to be something in the future that would, maybe, would this be a legal defense to what Dr. Drew's talking about with the medications and the transition? Would that be a legal defense in the non-civil case, in the criminal cases?
Well, if she was going to go further and talk about some kind of, insanity or some kind of impaired ability, possibly. But it's a stretch. I mean, the reality is you get in a car, and again, you should be, capable of driving that vehicle in a safe way. And when you don't do that, you can expect to be sued.
All right. Joining us also is Zoe Tour. She is a transgender television reporter. And Zoe, you actually had a deterioration in your driving ability. I did. Yeah, tell me about that.
Hormone replacement therapy, the estrogen bumps up. You can be as high as 1,200 with your estrogen, and it can make you somewhat euphoric. And as your mind kind of adjusts to the estrogen, you easily get distracted. Now, I'm also a helicopter pilot, and I found that the multicast.
So you take, if she gets in a helicopter, what?
Scary.
You don't recover from that.
But should you not be doing your job, flying a helicopter?
I don't parallel park the helicopter.
Okay, all right.
And hopefully you don't drive the helicopter when you're impaired on medication.
You missed where she was going with that, guys.
Yeah.
there was a very sexist sort of undertone there.
All 4 rims on my car are completely ripped apart. It changes, but it takes a while to adjust. So it can be a defense.
And Zoe, let me